Okay. All right, good evening. I'd like to start, before we start the meeting, I have a proclamation that I would like to read. It's Arthritis Awareness Month. Proclamation for that. Whereas nationwide community support has been critical throughout Arthritis Society Canada's 77th year history, enabling the organization to fulfill its mission to fight the fire of arthritis with research, advocacy, innovation, information, and support. And whereas arthritis is a serious illness that causes debilitating pain, restricts mobility, and diminishes quality of life. 6 million people in Canada, 1 in 5, live every day with the brutal realities of arthritis, and there is no cure. Without a greater spotlight on this growing issue, the number of people in Canada with arthritis will rise to 9 million by 2045. Whereas during Arthritis Awareness Month this September, we will raise awareness, mobilize, and engage communities to understand the devastating impact of arthritis and stand with us to fight for an arthritis-free future. We recognize the work underway to develop a nationwide arthritis action plan to take on the big issues of arthritis, including prevention, equitable access to care and treatment, and elevating the urgency of the disease. Whereas Arthritis Society Canada is Canada's national charity dedicated to extinguishing arthritis for good. We respectfully request that Happy Valley-Goose Bay declare September Arthritis Awareness Month to help us reach your community with your message and to illustrate your support for those living with the disease and their families. So I, Mayor George Andrews, declare Arthritis Awareness Month, September, in the town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay. And I'll sign that. And can we share that online? Okay, folks, good evening and welcome to our 83rd of what will be 84, I guess, public meetings. This evening, there's an agenda in front of you, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Pomeroy, seconded by Councillor Broomfield. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Against? Okay, so we've adopted our agenda. Delegations. We have,
2 delegations. We have Kim Cata from BC Holdings
okay,
and Josiane Demir from the Red Cross.
okay, is there a preference? Who wants to go first? You're not speaking? You're good? Okay. So we have one delegation. Josiane, bienvenue à Ville de Hotel de Ville. Yes. Welcome to Council Chambers and welcome to Happy Valley-Goose Bay.
And we will have her presentation.
Oh, is it?
Will be
Okay.
on the screen for you.
Need one there too. So Deputy Mayor, there's a delegation, and I will say that the Deputy Mayor is joining us by phone this evening. So there is a
Thank you.
There is a PowerPoint presentation. So unfortunately, you won't be able to see that. If you'd introduce yourself, and do we have the regular delegation?
I will pass it over to the chair.
Okay. So I had to read the whole thing, is this what they really mean?
I would say the important stuff, sir,
Yeah.
because it's a presentation, not a delegation.
Okay, delegations will have 10 minutes to present their concerns with written requests for detailed matters encouraged. Delegates may speak to one topic only per meeting and may only appear before council once on the same subject. Following the presentation, the mayor and council may ask questions or make comments on the information presented, but will not engage in debate. No delegation will be considered on topics such as human resources, labor relations, legal matters, or any topic that is not within the legislative authority of the municipality. The 13th Council respects our constituents' right to present their issues or concerns. In accordance with Policy A0018, A0041, and A0043, the town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay operates a respectful workplace. And all presenters and members of the public are reminded that any abusive or threatening behavior towards the town employees or council will result in removal of premises. Thank you.
So if you'd introduce yourself, and the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. Dear Mayor and council people, everybody watching at home, thank you for your time. I'm grateful for this chance to present the work of the Canadian Red Cross today. So I'm Josiane Demers. I'm a Senior Emergency Management Coordinator for the Canadian Red Cross for the Labrador region. I've been with the Red Cross only 5 months, and my background is in international politics and emergency dispatch. I will try to be as brief and entertaining as possible. So today here are the subject that will, I think I've already done the introduction, so we can go to the next slide. So who is the Red Cross? Obviously, most of you are aware of the Red Cross movement. So the mission is that we help people in communities in Canada and around the world in times of need and support them in strengthening their resilience. So it's the biggest, well, the world's largest humanitarian network in the world. There are 191 Red Cross, Red Crescent, and Red Crystal societies that answer to the International Committee of the Red Cross. There are fundamental principles that are on the presentation. I will leave you to read them so we can avoid my pronunciation of some of these words. But they guide the Canadian Red Cross's action in all our responses. Next slide. So in Canada, we respond to the needs of communities across the country, whether it's helping people with evacuation during a major flood or wildfires, train children to stay home alone, or teach people life-saving skills. The Canadian Red Cross is there to ensure the basic needs are met, regardless of who you are, where you're from, where you live. The example of the disasters that we can help with: house fires, extended power outage, floods, of course, wildfires. And the Red Cross is a volunteer-based organization. So 82% of our workforce are volunteers, so we could not function without volunteers. They are wonderful, and they come from every walk of life. That's what makes the Canadian Red Cross rich. How we help. Next. So there are many ways that the Red Cross can help. We can set up reception centers, registration, emergency lodging, emergency food, personal services, clothing, like baby formula, or referrals to mental health services. Here you can see that there are 5 levels of response, but I'm gonna concentrate on just the first 2, because the other ones are frankly above my pay grade. They are negotiated between governments and municipalities. So level 1 are small and localized events. They impact about 10 households, 25 people, and there's an unlikely chance that there will be further impact. And the level 2 emergency response usually impacts 25 to 500 people. All these numbers can always vary, and it's within one municipality or geographic area. So the next 2 slides, we can go through them quite quickly. I put them there basically for your benefits. If you need the Red Cross, there's information with the numbers and all of that. So I think Margaret will send them to you through email. So if you need to use them, you can switch. Yeah. You can. And yeah, other one. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, so the Red Cross in Newfoundland, Labrador. Unfortunately, this summer, it's been the largest domestic operation in recent history. So those numbers are the numbers for the entire country right now. But as you know, in Newfoundland, Labrador, right now there have been 4 responses, and there's one that's ongoing near Adams Cove in Carbonear, Newfoundland. And here in Goose Bay, I know that there were fires. Fortunately, they did not spread, so that was good. But I'm sure that you guys you all remember the 2024 wildfire near Labrador City when they had to evacuate and come here. So this is basically the reason why I'm here, is because the Red Cross noticed, you can switch it please. The Red Cross noticed that there were not enough volunteers to get started because since it's a northern region, there are some challenges to get here quickly or to charter a plane and stuff like that. So now we have strong volunteers right now, but we don't have enough of them. So my primary job is to recruit volunteers and keep them engaged. And if we recruit enough volunteers, what's good is right now we have some materials such as like on the base and stuff like that. So if we have enough volunteers, then we can get started. We can set up a shelter. I had the chance to be a site manager in Carbonear as well. So it's something that we can get started on before everybody comes in. And yeah, so that's why basically I'm here as permanent staff, and so that people know me and you can always reach me. Yes, so I'm also here for, as I said, the volunteer engagement. So can you go back, please? The volunteer engagement is basically to keep people informed of the new things with the Red Cross, make sure there's training and they feel comfortable with me, and that we can build a strong team and everybody can relate to each other, get to know each other, build a strong team bond. What's really important is the partner relationship, excuse me. It's really important. I've met with some of you already, but I'm not done. Obviously, in the next few weeks, I will meet with partners, organizations, because the Red Cross cannot do anything in a major event if they don't have partners. For example, the Salvation Army will most likely provide food, and LHS, will provide health services, whether it's mental health or physical health. Then the government can hire security, so it's really important to connect with partners. And on a personal note, I am very aware I'm not from here, so I have a lot to learn about Labrador, and I'm very humble about it. So I believe that building a great relationship with partners will help me get to know the community, and we'll be able to build something and be efficient together. And I look forward to learning about all of that. And we also have the Be Ready program. The Be Ready program is basically just help people figure out how to get ready for 72 hours if they either have to leave their home or stay in their home for 72 hours if there's a power outage or anything like that. Next slide. So, as I said, my major task is to recruit volunteers. So if some people are interested, being a volunteer provides concrete support to people and communities in vulnerable situations. You can acquire new skills that are useful in both personal and professional life. We encourage leadership, so you can grow within the Red Cross. You can build connection with a dedicated and supportive team, and you can make a real difference by supporting families and communities during emergency situations. Next slide. So if you or anybody you know are interested in becoming a volunteer, I put my information here. It's really easy. Website is redcross.ca/volunteers. Volunteers, sorry, no S. And then my email that you can certainly use. And for partners, the next slide for the conclusion, it's you have also my phone number if you need it, so don't hesitate to use it. And yeah, so I just wanted to give you a little kind of outlook of what the Red Cross is doing. And I hope it wasn't too boring and that we can collaborate together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation.
I've had the pleasure of working with Josiane on a couple of different events. One of the ones from a town perspective was the fire at Juniper. And she was there and did her Red Cross work, but she was just here.
I was there because I lived there. The next building.
I was doing it better for you, yeah. No, but anyway, yeah, like I say, I mean, you know, we see what's happening in the province, and we've seen what happened here last year, so. Thank you very much. Anybody have anything else for her? Well, thank you finally. Can we share some of that, like maybe the Be the Volunteer thing on our Facebook?
Whatever she wants us to.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to, yeah.
I have one that's in French, I'll just translate it, send it to you maybe, and this presentation, it will be sent to all you guys as well, so you can have the contact information.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're good on delegations, we only have the one, all right. Okay, before you moving on the agenda, adoption of the previous minutes, we have two there, we'll do them separately. So the 81st minutes from the meeting of July 22nd, 2025 are there. Entertain a motion to accept them as presented.
Motion.
Moved by Councillor Compton Hobbs, seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Any discussion on those minutes? Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. The 82nd minutes are there as presented as well from a meeting on August the 7th, 2025. Entertain a motion to accept those as presented.
So moved.
Councillor Rumbold, seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. We've accepted those. Correspondence. My one is different here tonight. You normally can get in.
It's just the one from.
Yeah.
from this one.
So there's, so is it,
Just the highway traffic.
okay, yeah,
Municipal enforcement
yeah.
correspondence.
all right. So we'll speak to that, I guess, later?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's move into committee reports. Go to first the Finance, Admin, and Policy. And the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. We met as part of the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, August the 12th, 2025 at 5 p.m. For the Finance Administration Committee, our new business was the rescind policy F0024, which is overtime pay. We discussed the Trapline Marathon support. And we also did an update on policy A0027-2, which is called the conduct. Okay, so for the overtime pay, I really am going to leave this one to our CIO to give us some information on this one, because what I've read suggests to me that we are allowed to pay out special, like extra bonuses, whatever they call them, but all you have to do is take out your taxes, CPP and EI. So I'd like really for the CIO to explain it for us, then please, because we weren't there for the Committee of the Whole.
So, yeah, do we want to do that, or when we actually talk about the,
Okay, yeah.
what, do you want to wait till we actually do
Good.
the overtime vacation pay policy,
Okay.
right, in your
Yeah.
recommendations, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the next one was the Trapline Marathon. And for the town has always supported this organization. Before, we used to always provide money. The last couple of years now, we decided it's starting to cost us quite a few dollars in overtime pay. So we would start providing services with them in facilities. So this year, we're giving them the use of the Kinsman Park for the registration of that, along with the use of tables and chairs. And there is a recommendation coming on that one in the attached. The other item is to update policy A0027-2, which is the code of conduct. And basically what it was, the first one we passed, you get a year or two to get used to and use, and now we're finding that we have to do some fine tuning, and this is basically what this was, fine tuning to help eliminate what they call frivolous and vexatious claims or unsubstantiated claims, items of that nature. And so there is a resolution to come forward on that one. And then our other business, we discussed the DFO, the Financial Officer's Manager Report. A couple items were recognized or listed there to discuss. One was the HR consultant expenses, where we do not have anyone in our HR. We've been using an HR consultant, and that one is really starting to get quite high, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But hopefully we can start combating that, because we now have a new corporate services manager hired. Hopefully I can step in and help out on that one there. And we also had staff to send out a good number of water shut-off notices in the month of August. And there's reports there on that one there attached. Okay, and that's it for me, Your Worship.
Okay, sir. So it's moved by Councillor Brumfield that we accept the Finance, Admin and Policy Committee report as presented. Seconded? Seconded by Councillor Winters. I'll get you next time. Discussion.
Yes, I'd like, on the first one, like I said, I'd like for the CIO to give us a little bit, a brief on the vacation pay and overtime pay.
Okay. Did you want to do that now?
Yeah, I'm just bringing up the policy.
Okay.
So this policy was written in 2014. And it states that a request for overtime will be paid once every second week following the week after the regular scheduled pay. It also states that the only one overtime check will be issued and employees must have at least 20 hours of overtime. This means that if you have 40 or 80 hours of overtime to submit for payment, you cannot have these split and issued in separate checks. The CRA says that overtime is to be paid or comped in the period in which it is earned. So paying overtime in between pay periods is not permitted by the CRA. You can comp overtime and pay it out at a later date, but you cannot pay it out a week following, put it that way. And because it has accrued in the period in which it's earned, you can't limit the number of hours that is now, you can, if an employee has earned 30 hours, they can be paid or should be paid for 30 hours. If they've earned 2, they should be paid for 2. They shouldn't have to accrue up to 20 before they can be paid out for it. The other item on this policy was vacation travel checks and advanced payroll checks to be issued due to an employee on vacation must have the request into their immediate supervisor at least 2 weeks prior to the date they will need the same. Any request made without this notice will not be guaranteed. So when this was in place, the town would issue checks to employees, so somebody going on vacation would not get paid if they weren't here to collect a check. In 2014 is my understanding, the town moved to a direct deposit system, so all employees get paid. So if they're, they'll get paid their vacation pay and they get paid on their regular check. So this policy is outdated and redundant. It does not reflect current practices or CRA rules.
Thank you. All right. Any further discussion?
Well,
Because
I'd like to say something else.
Oh, yeah, you can say, we're going to have a conversation in terms of rescinding that policy,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we can, yeah, it's up to you. You can do it now, or you can do it when we do it then.
Well, yeah, because I was looking at the information that was attached. Now, Canada Revenue Agency does not say we can't pay them with bonuses or save your pay and pay it out at what they've been doing. Basically, most people do it either if they want to take like a vacation or their Christmas time, that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's members on the council sitting on the table who've done that. Personally, I don't think that we have to include their overtime in their regular paycheck where it's going to be dinged with taxes. And Revenue Canada, what I'm reading, does not say we have to do it either. Just that all we have to do is, we do still have to deduct if there's EI, CPP, and income tax. But with overtime, you don't accrue other benefits, and that's what they're really getting at. Any
other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the report as presented, indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Okay, so you have 3 recommendations.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, first recommendation is rescind policy F0024, request for overtime vacation pay. The Finance, Administration, and Policy Committee recommends council rescind policy F0024 as the policy is non-compliant with County Revenue Agency regulations.
Okay, moved by Councillor Brumfield and the Finance and Policy Committee that council rescind policy F0024, request for overtime vacation pay. The Finance Administration, we recommend that we rescind, yes, F0024. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion. So that's basically along the same lines of what we just said.
Yeah. But I would like to ask one question. So, in our collective agreement, we have it where they're allowed to take pay, is that correct?
So they're allowed to be paid overtime?
Yeah, pay like we're currently doing.
Yes.
So is, if we revoke this policy, they're still gonna be entitled to do that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of rescinding policy F0024 indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, sir.
Okay, the next one is the Trapline Marathon request for support. The Finance, Administration, and Policy Committee recommends council support the Trapline Marathon by providing the use of Kinsman Park and providing tiers/tables not to exceed the value of $5,000 in-kind services.
Okay, moved by Councillor Brumfield and the FAP Committee that we support the Trapline Marathon by providing use of Kinsman Park, tables and chairs, and not to exceed the value of $5,000 in in-kind services. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? And this is in line of what we've done in previous
Yeah, we've
years
done
too.
that previous years, so.
Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Okay, the next one is policy A0047-2, Code of Conduct Counselors. The Finance, Administration, and Policy Committee recommends council approve the revised policy A0047-2, Code of Conduct Counselors, and rescind the current policy A0047-2, Code of Conduct Counselors.
Okay, moved by Councillor Brumfield and the FAP Committee that council approve the revised policy A0047, Code of Conduct for Councillors, and rescind the current policy A0047-2, Code of Conduct for Councillors. Seconded by
I'll second.
Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion.
Just a question maybe the CAO can answer. In terms of this policy, there was no substantive changes to it, right? There was just basically cleaning it up?
It was
There was a
clean.
few things I seen change, but it wasn't anything major.
Yeah, last year, the then Department of Municipal Affairs created or updated their template from when they first created it, I think in 2023 or 22. And they required that all municipalities update their policies to reflect at minimum what was in their template.
Right.
So we looked at our current one, and we looked at the template, and we made sure that everything that was in the template was in there, and some stuff, additional things that we had in ours, as long as it didn't go against the recommendation, we kept it in ours as well.
Okay.
Yeah, just to align to municipal affairs, right?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded?
I do have a few additional ones that were given to me just now,
Yeah, that was an extra list, right?
yeah.
Okay, floor is yours. Keep going.
Okay, the first one, like I said, I was given just 3 additional ones today. First one was the donation to the Tarrington Co-op Annual Kids Club Carnival. The Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends council donate $1,000 to go towards the purchase of prizes for the free event, for their free event.
Okay, moved by Councillor Brumfield and the FAP Committee that we donate, or approve a donation of $1,000 to the Turn Co-op Annual Kids Club Carnival. Seconded by
I'll second.
Councillor Compton House. Discussion?
Now, this is an event, from my understanding, we've always done this one for years, really. It's just a regular donation to them.
It's a great event in the park for all the kids. And
Oh, yeah.
families,
Yeah.
so it's-
Yeah.
it's good.
Well attended to. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Your next one, sir?
My next one is the Town Pension Plan Committee Terms of Reference. The Finance and Administration and Policy Committee recommends that council adopt the Pension Committee Terms of Reference as presented and appoint the Chief Administrative Officer as one of 3 management representatives on the committee.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield and the FAP Committee that the council adopt the Pension Committee Terms of Reference as presented and appoint the CAO as one of the 3 management representatives on the committee. Seconded by Councillor Rumble. Discussion?
Just a question.
Yep.
We've seen who was here that done the work on this, but who would the other 2 committee members be?
I think they would be appointed at a later
Same
date,
ones?
I think was the note that came around.
Would be the GFO for sure, and
Yeah,
then someone else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right, Yeah, 'cause it says human resource management, but we don't
Yeah.
have that, right?
So I think that was the
First will be a finance representative and a human resources representative.
Cool, thanks.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, sir?
And now the next one is purely administrative, really. The Town Pension Plan change of custodian. The Finance, Administration, and Policy Committee recommends that council appoint Desjardins Trust as the new custodian for the retirement plan for employees of the town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay.
Okay, and moved by Councillor Brumfield and the FAP Committee that council appoint Desjardins Trust as a new custodian for the retirement plan for employees of the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion.
Just to note that this change will result in savings of roughly $20,000 a year to the town, so it's great.
And it is still with Desjardins.
Yeah, it's just
different
changing a
arm as
different
Desjardins.
portfolio or what, yeah.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed.
That's it for me.
And that's it for you, sir.
Yes,
Thank you. Let's move into community planning and development.
Thank you, Mayor.
Floor is yours.
The short one.
Make sure my mic is close enough so that my voice carries, not that I've usually got a problem. The Community Planning and Development Committee met on Tuesday, August the 12th, as part of the Committee of a Whole. As a part of our committee package, we had 1 environmental assessment application with a recommendation to follow. We had 5 Crown Lands applications for both recreational cottage, for parking lot, for single dwelling, residential varied density, and for a boardwalk addition, so a various assortment of Crown Lands applications, all with recommendations to follow. We had 2 discretionary land use applications, both for home-based businesses, and one for a contracting, I believe, and one for an appliance home office, and they'll have recommendations to follow. Deputy Mayor, can I get you just to mute your phone, because we got a little bit of feedback coming. We had a closed session to discuss some additional information, and we resumed our public meeting. And we reviewed an info note that was presented to us on Crown Lands had approved some previously objected, I guess, things, Crown Lands applications that the town had previously provided objection to had since been approved by Crown Lands. And so we had an info note and some discussion on, you know, how this could happen. And the rationale that we had from Crown Lands was that after a rezoning change that the town had made in regards to quarries, those Crown Lands applications then met the zoning. So Crown Lands went ahead and approved the previously opposed against applications. So our discussion at that point was to make sure that we're a little bit more proactive, that we reach out to the government, to Crown Lands, all of our partners, and that we make sure that we protect key lands, that we have our planning staff do some strategic zoning amendments, because when we provided objections, we had, earlier this spring, we had significant conversation on the fact that we have recreational cottages that are permitted in resource zones, but what we wanted to do, our key objective was to ensure that when resource enterprises wanted to apply for lands, that there was still land left for them, that it hadn't all been taken up by recreational cottages. So it was an effort to kind of protect some of that land for future use for resource uses. So we're just going to, I think the direction that was given to staff at that time was to just be a little bit more proactive and to look at some strategic zoning so that we can make sure that there's always resource land available. And that was pretty much our discussion. I do have a significant number. I said that I had 5 Crown Lands applications, 2 discretionary land, 1 environmental, but I actually have 13 recommendations to follow. So that was the pretty much the discussion part of our community planning and development. And I would request that you accept my report as presented.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold and the Community Planning and Development Committee that we accept the committee report as presented. Seconded by? Everybody. I saw his first. Councillor Rumbold. Discussion. Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. So you're first of 13. And I still don't quite understand why we can't, similar motions like land, that there's no objection or there's objections, can't be grouped in one motion with the same details. But
Not if it's for different applications or different properties. And it's in case in future something has to be rescinded or objected to, so you don't end up
Can't
rescinding
rescind
all
the
of
whole
them.
motion.
What'd you say?
I understand that.
Okay, let's try to
Okay,
make this
let's go.
painless.
Number 1.
Everything. You don't
Number
wanna
1.
repeat the whole
Yes,
thing either.
okay.
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 So my first one, environmental assessment application 2365, New Nazieville Construction. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends that council provide no objection to environmental assessment application 2635 on the condition that all future development complies with town development regulations and mineral lands has no concerns.
Moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD Committee that we provide no objection to application, environmental assessment application 2635. Seconded by Councillor Compton-House. Discussion.
I have to stop, actually. I read it out, and so I have the same, I have 2365 on line 1. I have 2635 on line 2. And I'm not sure which one is correct. I'm sorry.
Can we get the right one then, please?
It's a lot.
Counselor, I think it's 2365.
2365? First one
I'm
is.
scrolling to,
Okay.
okay.
All right, so 2365.
2365 is correct.
All right.
Thank you.
Discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Crown Lands application 163804, 611 Trans-Labrador Highway. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 163804, located at 611 Trans-Labrador Highway, for the development of a cottage on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations, and the application acknowledges the following definition under the Happy Valley-Goose Bay Development Regulations 2018 to 2028. 5.6.8 definition: cottage means a dwelling unit designed or intended for seasonal or recreational use and is not intended for use as a permanent living quarters and does not include a vehicle as defined under the Highway Traffic Act 1990.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD committee that council provides no objection to Crown Lands application 163804. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion. Councillor Rumbold.
Mayor, just wanted to add, the reason I think that we have been so specific in this one is this was one of the applications that came to us during our committee as a whole, and it came in as an application for a residence in a recreational cottage zone. So we just, you know, it's important to point out to all applicants that that particular zoning is for seasonal or recreational use.
So, in the committee at the whole meeting, we were gonna get it clarified, so it's since been clarified that it is a seasonal cottage.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct, yeah. Any further discussion? And the other line that we always have is that it that complies with the town's development regulations, so
Absolutely.
we shouldn't necessarily need to indicate that, but, okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed.
Okay, my next one, Crown Lands application 164336, 94 Groves Point Road. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 164336, located at 94 Groves Point Road, for the development of a cottage on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations, and the applicant acknowledges the following definition under the Happy Valley-Goose Bay Development Regulations 2018 to 2028, 5.6.8. Definition: cottage means a dwelling unit designed or intended for seasonal or recreational use and is not intended for use as permanent living quarters and does not include a vehicle as defined under the Highway Traffic Act 1990.
Okay, moved by Councilor Rumbold and the CPD committee that council provides no objection to Crown Lands application 164336. Seconded by
I'll second it.
Councilor Compton Hobbs. Discussion? None heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Moving right along.
Next one, Crown Lands application 164342, 214 Kellen Drive. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide objection to Crown Lands application 164342, located at 214 Kellen Drive, as hotel use is not permitted in the industrial commercial zone.
Okay, moved by Councilor Rumbold and the CPD committee that council provide objection to Crown Lands application 164342. Seconded by Councilor Pomeroy. Discussion? I was going to go to the engineer for
You absolutely.
for the clarification. In terms of why we're objecting?
As part of the regulations, Your Honor, the hotel use is not permitted in that particular industrial commercial zone. So,
Sorry I'm laughing, but you call me Your Honor, so I thank you very much, but yes. So it's the Crown Lands process that we're doing here, so.
yes.
Councilor Rumble.
Okay, just to add to that, Mayor, Your Worship, Mayor, not Your Honor.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out a couple of little things. So the applicant actually wished to withdraw this application, but because there just wasn't enough time frame, it's just a formality, the applicant would have withdrawn the application. So we do actually have to proceed because it wasn't able to be withdrawn in the correct timeline. Also wanted to mention the way the wording is, it says hotel use is not permitted. It was an application for a parking lot, but the way the wording was on the application was it said hotel parking lot. Our development regulations don't have anything specific just to parking lot. So if we had somebody who applied for a parking lot on a hair salon, it would be as a hair salon and not as a parking lot, or a grocery store, it would be a grocery store, not a parking lot. So just to provide that clarity point there, it says as hotel use is not permitted, but it was actually a parking lot application, but the parking lot defaults to the use that was the building that the parking lot would be used to. So yeah, that's just a little more detail.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add on, just to clarify, if it had been withdrawn last week, we wouldn't be here tonight with this. It's
Absolutely.
just that
It was just the
Crown
time frame.
Lands- it was
Crown
too
Lands has
late
become a
getting
lot
to Crown
stricter,
Lands,
yeah.
Yes.
In terms of their timelines, which is reasonable.
Yep.
So yes, so this is more administrative kind of.
Absolutely.
Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded?
I'll
Counselor
pass
Mind?
mine on that.
Pardon me?
Oh,
Objection?
Yeah.
Okay.
just based on,
Pass.
basically, just can clarify, just based on
Yeah.
her wanting to,
Objection. Take it.
basically, the reason why, because she was going to withdraw the application,
Yeah.
but there wasn't enough time because she did say before now, and that not as our fault or, from my understanding, is you tried to reach out to Crown Land, but couldn't reach out to Crown Land.
And the issue is too, is that if we would have just tabled it,
Yes,
it would have proceeded through with Crown Lands.
Would have proceeded through the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, that's correct,
So-
Councillor. There wasn't enough time to contact Crown Lands, or they didn't get back to us. And also the fact that if we don't object, the default to Crown Lands is no objection.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so we have the vote.
Okay, so that, we cleared that one. Next one.
Okay, Crown Lands application 164345, 15 Elizabeth Avenue. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 164345 on the condition that all future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD Committee. The council provides no objection to Crown Lands application 164345. Seconded by
I'll second that.
Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed.
Okay.
Letter F.
Crown Lands application 164422. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 164422, located off Birch Island Road, on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD Committee. The council provides no objection to Crown Lands application 16422. Seconded by Councillor Palmer. Discussion? Councillor
Just,
Palmer?
I wonder if the chair can just give us an overview on that one?
Sure. So we previously presented in one of our other meetings, and I wish I could quote the meeting number, that we had an application from Healthy Waters Labrador that they want to expand and develop on the existing boardwalk trail. So users to the existing boardwalk will have noticed that when you're driving into the second parking lot, on your left there's now a trapper's tilt. So on your right there's a boardwalk trail, on your left there's a trapper's tilt. Their design that they provided us with is that they now want to have a boardwalk that goes to the left, so that people will be able to walk in, view that trapper's tilt, make a little loop and come back out. And so it's an add-on to the existing boardwalk system, but it's in another area, which won't affect, it's not in any residential area, or it's they've planned it so that it, as they do with everything, they are very careful to maintain the integrity of the area.
It just extends the footprint of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor with that one indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Home-based business, 13A McDonald Drive, JCO Enterprises. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the home-based business application at 13A McDonald Drive for JCO Enterprises, which will operate a phone, internet, email-only home office for appliance repair services, subject to compliance with all town regulations and conditions.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD Committee that council approve the home-based business application at 13A McDonald. Seconded by
I'll second
Councillor
that.
Broomfield, sorry. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Home-based business, 21D Learning Street, Sampson's Contracting. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the home-based business application at 21D Learning Street for Sampson's Contracting, which will operate a phone, internet, email-only home office for contracting services, subject to compliance with all the town's regulations and conditions.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD Committee that council approve the home-based business at 21D Learning. Seconded by
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion? On some of our contracting ones in the past, what we've said is that there's no storage of materials
Yeah.
on site.
That's
From
all
the home-based-
outlined
From the
in,
home-based business perspective, right?
that's all outlined in the regulations.
Yeah.
What
I know, but
requirements
we're
are
telling
there.
people they can't build a residence in
Yeah.
other ones, then, yeah. Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. Next one?
Crown Lands Application 164437, Mud Lake Road. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide objection to Crown Lands Application 164437, located on Mud Lake Road, as an accessory use slipway is not permitted without a primary use building on the property. In addition, a boat launch is not permitted or a discretionary use allowed in the Environmental Protection Zone.
Okay, moved by Councillor Rumbold, CPD Committee, that council provide objection to Crown Lands Application 164437. Seconded by Councillor Brumfield. Discussion? Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. Next one.
Stop work order 2 Heffler Street. Be it resolved that in accordance with the Urban and Rural Planning Act, Section 1094, a stop work order be issued for noncompliance at 2 Heffler Street, Valley-Goose Bay.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Rumbold and the CPD Committee that a stop work order be issued for noncompliance at 2 Heffler Street. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion. So, yeah, I was gonna go to him again, but.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just basically, just for the interest of those that are listening, stop work orders were put in place quite some time ago, but have to be ratified at a public council meeting. This is something new for us under the new Towns and Local Service District Act, because in the past, I don't think we've ever issued stop work orders in public.
No, because we
I don't know.
delegated our authority.
I don't know if the town CAO can clarify that.
I think it's as of January 1st, 2025, right?
This is under the Urban and
Urban Rural Planning Act, yeah.
That hasn't been amended, but it was something that we weren't aware of before, because our council has delegated the authority to issue stop work orders to
Right.
several staff members. We thought that was what needed to be done, but through a recent stop work order that had to go through our legal process, they did advise that even though staff is delegated to issue, the ability to issue stop work order, that it still has to be ratified at a council meeting.
So
Okay.
my
So it is
question,
under the Urban and Rural Planning Act.
Okay, there was no reference to it in the new municipality, or the,
Towns
The
and
Town
Local
Council of
Services.
Services
there's no
District Act.
reference at all?
No.
Okay, I
So
thought I
my
read something, must have been
question-
Urban Rural
yeah,
Planning Act, yeah.
my next question comes then from, if it's a safety issue and staff can't issue without it being ratified by town council, what happens?
So that's where you delegate, the staff can issue it as they see something,
Mhm.
but at the following
Gotta be
council meeting, it
ratified.
has to be
Yeah.
ratified by council.
Okay,
So it's in
And then what
place
happens-
as of when it's delivered.
yeah, what happens then if council doesn't ratify?
Then
That puts
Guess
the
it's
staff, no, but that
considered
puts the staff
living?
member at a huge
Yes.
liability, right?
yeah,
So I don't think, yeah, I'm from safety, you'd almost have to have an emergent meeting to deal with it possibly, because I mean, I'm sure Mr.
legal
Dillon's
says
not,
at the following public council meeting, it can be ratified.
okay,
So we could have issued one 30 days ago,
Yeah.
and it gets ratified now, if it happened the day after the previous public meeting.
as long as it's ratified. Okay, interesting. Next one, that's, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Next one, please.
Stop work order 214 Kellen Drive. Be it resolved that in accordance with the Urban and Rural Planning Act, Section 1094, a stop work order be issued for noncompliance at 214 Kellen Drive, Valley-Goose Bay.
Moved by Councillor Rumbold, the CPD Committee, that a stop work order be issued for noncompliance at 214 Kellen Drive. Seconded by Councillor Rumfield. Discussion?
I find it hard to have to put my hand up to support this one. There's a little bit of behind the scenes work going on. Is it necessary to be a stop worker order? That means it remains to be seen, or it's questionable. So for myself, I can't support this stop work order.
Any other discussion? Okay.
Just so there, the stop work order is already in place.
Yes, it's been for
And,
weeks.
and we're waiting on, government, service and L, paperwork. That's my understanding, right? So once we receive that, then the stop work order would be lifted?
So to remove the stop work order doesn't have to come back, doesn't have to be ratified to council, right?
Doesn't have to
So
be so once we get all the paperwork and,
It's our understanding that we're working through the issue.
yeah.
And the issue, according to staff, has been worked through, is the right way, I guess, to put
Okay.
it,
Yes, that's correct, Mayor.
and doesn't have to
Your
come to
mayor,
council.
I should
Yeah,
say,
Your Honor,
your
no,
mayor.
mayor's fine, yeah. So it's being worked through. This is, because it's already been put in place, this is just a formality because we're ratifying at
What's
the next
already
public
been done.
meeting.
Yeah, okay.
But it is being worked through. Councilor Rumble?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that, that it says be issued for non-compliance. So yes, obviously, once it was compliant, a stop work order could possibly be issued for a very short time or an extended period, just based on how long it is, of course, everybody's hope and goal that this gets resolved as quickly as possible. But yeah, I think that's what Councilor Pomeroy was trying to get at, is that,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of resolving so that we can proceed.
Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Okay, have the record indicate contrary votes. All right, passed. Next item, please.
Stop work order 161 Hamilton River Road. Be it resolved that in accordance with the Urban and Rural Planning Act, Section 1094, a stop work order be issued for noncompliance at 161 Hamilton River Road, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Moved by Councilor Rumble and CPD Committee that a stop work order be issued for noncompliance at 161 Hamilton River Road. Seconded by Councilor Brumfield. Discussion?
Again, the same situation.
I think it's a little bit different.
No, this is
It's different zoning issues.
There's a zoning issue there? Know if someone can give us an update on that?
So,
Well, it wasn't
Mr.
complying with the conditions of the permit.
Okay.
so the-
And it is also relates to service and not approval.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So
Yes.
that hasn't been received from
No,
as
no,
well?
not yet.
Okay.
yeah, that's why the noncompliance, right? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Crown Lands application 164417, 420 Hamilton River Road. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 164417 on the condition that all future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Moved by Councilor Rumble and the CPD Committee that we provide no objection to Crown Lands application 164417. Seconded by Councilor Rumfield. Discussion? None heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. Well, Councilor Rumble.
Thankfully, that is it for
Okay,
me.
you don't have any extra ones, right?
No more hidden there anywhere.
All right, so let's move in through the agenda. We'll go to protective services now, and
Thank you, Mayor.
the floor is yours, Councilor Compton-Hobbs.
So, August the 12th, the Committee of the Whole met, Protective Services Committee, along with the rest of council, some of the discussions we had at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Again, I noted the RCMP calls. There were over 600 calls for the month of July, which the calls are still very high, which means that, there's still lots of illegal activity going on in our community, or for whatever reason, mental health or whatever, but the calls are still coming in, so I still encourage community members to call. If you see anything, you know, any illegal activity or any, you know, intoxication, whatever, call in. Data's important. I also noted in that RCMP report, there were 12 impaired driving charges just for the month of July. You know, that number's high. I asked if we could do some public awareness, if we could partner up with MAD or someone in the community to put some messaging out. We talked about moving violations. At the time, we had no update, but on August the 18th, we received a letter from the Deputy Minister advising that we were not going to be approved moving violations under the enforcement of the Highway Traffic Act, which was very disappointing. We talked about the Garda. We requested that they give us a report monthly detailing their patrol areas. We emphasized that monitoring the headland apartments, if they could start doing more patrols there, because there was a lot of activity going on around that area, and we know that's a seniors apartment. So we asked if they could increase their patrols. We talked about fireworks regulation. So we're still working on the regulation, and we're hoping to have a draft of a standalone fireworks bylaw for the next meeting. That's my report, Mayor, and I ask that you accept my report as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Compton-Hobbs. Moved by Councillor Compton-Hobbs that we accept the Protective Services Committee report as presented. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion. Councillor Pomeroy.
Yeah, in terms of the moving violations, very disappointing because, as you know, the town has been enforcing Highway Traffic Act since the 80s. And it's only the last couple of years that we haven't been doing it based on a question of whether we have the authority to do so. Meanwhile, other communities in the province, from what I understand, are continuing to enforce Highway Traffic Act. I don't know if that's been changed since this letter, but I know that earlier this summer, I witnessed myself in Grand Falls, Windsor, town police, that's what's written on their vehicle, police, pulling over people. So I just, you know, to me, it's like, it's kind of like a double standard. Like, what makes us different than any other community in the province? Maybe the province wants to get all communities away from enforcing Highway Traffic Act moving violations and whatnot. But it needs to be, as far as I'm concerned, it should be applied equally right across this province. And that's not the case. And that's very disappointing. And I think that, you know, from a safety perspective, we're always talking about the RCMP and not having enough members on the ground. And you know, they're busy enough. Meanwhile, we have, as Councillor Compton-Hobbs just mentioned, 12 impaired drivers in last month. And I know that a municipal enforcement officer is not going to deal with those criminal cases, but it would free up a lot of time for the RCMP to do more things. And I think there's a lot of speeding in our town that's going unnoticed or unchecked. And from a safety perspective, I think, you know, it's important that we, it's too bad that it's been taken away from us. You know, they're saying they're not giving it to us, but it was taken away and we've asked for it back and they're not going to give it back. So it's very unfortunate. I think we should continue to push that, the lobby for that, because I think it was an important for the community, and in the past it worked well, and whatever it takes to make it work, I think we should try and work with the authorities to see that we can do that again.
I agree. I'm disappointed that it took us so long to get that answer. We've been at this now for years. We've had several politicians sit in our room in there and tell us, yo, that should be a done deal. You know, we've continuously said, and now all of a sudden, 3 years later, it comes back and says, oh, well, you didn't have the authority to do it anyway because it wasn't in the new towns and service. Well, it's kind of short-sighted, in my opinion, for that. Understanding the, you know, what they said in terms of training and volatile situations and that. We have, you know, we have and have had professionally trained, professionally equipped officers that have done that task. you know, with their training, with the equipment and things like that, they don't go into situations that, and with proper procedures, they wouldn't go into situations that would cause harm or potential harm. But the unfortunate thing is that, yeah, so now, you know, the impaired drivings won't be, you know, won't be handled because our MEO could only detain until the RCMP came. But the speeding, other issues, other moving violations, you know, it's disappointing. But what's even more disappointing, as Councillor Pomeroy says, we have other communities in our province that are, you know, are in the same situation as we were. We only just wanted what was there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going forward, in the next councils and that kinds of deal, I mean, I think the great way to do it is lobby with municipalities, Newfoundland and Labrador, to get that put back in, or the option to be put back in. You know, if we can meet the threshold, but it's hilarious because the amount of yo-yoing and playing around that happened with us with this file is foolish.
Yeah.
Because it went from minister to minister to minister
Premier
to
to premier.
the MHA to wherever, and all someone had to do was look at the legislation and say, sorry, you didn't have the authority. We took it from you when any reference to policing, when we put in the new updated Municipalities Act, for lack of a better word. And that's not much of an update. That's regressive in my opinion.
And that's what
But-
struck me.
Yeah.
I was in Grand Falls, Windsor last week, and the municipal enforcement vehicle says police.
Yeah, so
Right.
we were going to write a letter. Have we written that letter to the province? Okay, because we were going to write the letter and say, we're disappointed. Now what's going to happen? You know, we're not permitted to do so. We don't have any legislative or legal authority, and then we can't put staff in that position, you know, without some sort of ability. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, the moving violations is gone until,
Well,
you know,
I was
don't know
gonna
if I'll ever
say,
get back there.
yeah, I was gonna say that, the CAO did send out an email and, ask how to move forward, and I think everybody would be on the same page to respond with a letter, and
Yeah.
especially confirm if other municipalities are doing this.
Yeah.
why
When
don't we,
I spoke to her and Director Butler, we're going to be
Yeah.
doing they're doing a letter as a response, right? So hopefully,
So
yeah,
hopefully,
let's get
yeah,
that done.
yeah.
If nothing else, just to voice our concern. You have no
No recommendation.
recommendations? Okay, thank you. Going to municipal services.
Thank you, Mayor.
And the floor is yours, Councillor Palmer. Sorry.
Municipal Services Committee met as part of the Committee of the Whole on August the 12th. While there was no business introduced during the meeting, we did have a discussion regarding upgrades to the bike trail between the two gateway points. The tender for this project closed on August the 6th, and the work has been divided into civil works and paving. I'll have two recommendations on this shortly. As per the manager's reports, lift station upgrades have reached the final stages with mechanical and architectural work largely complete. SCADA equipment, I believe that's, I don't know if you can tell us what that means. Is it software, hardware?
SCADA is an acronym for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition.
There you go. So that equipment is currently, installation is currently being finalized. Road intersection upgrades at Loring Drive and Hamilton River Road have been divided into 3 contracts. Concrete and traffic signal contracts have been awarded. Concrete installation is complete. Perhaps the town engineer can advise with respect to the signal lights, the lights that will be installed shortly.
The plan to be installed this fall. Yes, we're waiting on the contractor now to bring in the actual signals and get them installed. And we have to get hardware to put up the poles too.
Okay, perfect. River stabilization project is currently awaiting permit approval from Fisheries and Oceans Canada. Phase 2 of the sewage lift station upgrades is expected to be completed next month. Discussions continue with the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure regarding the procurement of an architectural consultant for the new fire hall design. The RFP is still being finalized. Public Works continues with routine seasonal operations. Road maintenance, signage installation, sweeping are continuing. Drainage improvements are progressing, with 8 catch basins installed and 3 more pending. Road painting has been completed for the year. Town's bus service remains stable with 4 regular commuters and between 8 to 11 riders per route. Heavy equipment and emergency vehicles are undergoing regular servicing. However, the light-duty fleet is experiencing delays due to parts shortages, with 2 vehicles awaiting repairs. Preparation for winter equipment maintenance are scheduled for next month. Minor issues at the depot persist and are awaiting for resolutions from CGI. Tipping fees totaling this year amount to $90,606.82. That's as of July the 28th. I expect that's probably going to increase a little bit before the year is over. The international waste license has been successfully renewed for another year. Under environmental services, water and sewer lift station upgrades are progressing well. The D42 project is expected to begin this fall. Water and sewer systems are operating normally, and vegetation control is ongoing at multiple sites. Facilities and equipment across wastewater and water treatment plants are functioning as expected. 2 hydrants dating back to the 1940s, 1950s are scheduled for replacement. Routine operations continued at Sandhill D19 and D42 reservoirs. Staff are undergoing certified training in certified confined space and fire protection. COVID-related wastewater sampling is now conducted bi-weekly with results available online. And as I indicated, I got 2 recommendations to bring forward, but before I do that, I move that the council accept the Municipal Services Committee report as presented.
Okay, moved by Councillor Pomeroy and the Municipal Services Committee that we accept their report as presented. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? None heard. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. Recommendation, sir?
Sir, as I indicated, these are in relation to the bike trail upgrades. Municipal Services Committee recommends contracts be awarded to Gray Rock Services, Inc. in the amount of $331,000, $331,087.88 for Part A, asphalt removal and civil works, and $1,370,800 for Part B, asphalt replacement.
Okay, moved by Councillor Pomeroy and the Municipal Services Committee that the contract, do we do these separate or are they together? Are they separate or together?
They would be 2 separate contracts, Mayor.
Okay, so do we have to do them separately, or are we putting a motion for 2 separate ones or one altogether?
Would be one motion for both contracts.
Okay. All right, so I'll continue to move by Councillor Pomeroy that we award Gray Rock Services, Inc. 2 contracts, one for $331,087.88 for Part A, and for Part B, $1,370,800 for Part B. Seconded by Councillor Winters.
Mayor, I might want to clarify too that there's a shortage of funds, and the intention is to fund the additional funds required, which is the councillor can elaborate on first before we actually award the contracts.
So you
So
want to
we
do B
put it-
first?
B and then A.
So we've actually got the motions are,
Yeah, the motion should be
Should have been
to
different order.
approve
B
the
should be
funds
done
first.
So the
Okay, so-
motion's on the floor and it's seconded, so. To take the motion off the floor,
I can move to take the motion off the floor.
okay, you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do it the right way.
Okay. Okay, the
Let's
first
give us the
motion.
money first.
Yeah, the first motion. Be it resolved that the town of Happy Valley Goose may apply for funding from the Canada Community Building Fund, administered by the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs, to fund the overage of the bike trail upgrade project in the amount of $600,997.95.
Okay, moved by Councillor Pomeroy and the Municipal Services Committee that we apply for funding in the amount of $600,997.95 from the Canada Community Building Fund. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion. This is our own gas tax money, correct?
Correct.
Yes, Mayor, this is
Right, so
our gas tax.
we have to apply for our own money that's administered by the province.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's correct, Mayor.
So, just to clarify, there's $2 million there in gas tax, correct, Mr.?
There's roughly 1.9 some odd million, close to $2 million, Councillor.
Yeah.
available right now at
And we're
this, at
only-
this moment.
We're only taking 600,000, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Councillor Brumfield.
Now, the reason why we're looking for this extra 600,000 plus is because the tenders came in a lot higher than we budgeted or anticipated, so that's all we can do about that, right?
The cost of
Yeah.
pavement is horrendous.
Yeah,
Crazy, yeah. Cost
And
for
just,
pavement.
just a point, we're not funding the entire amount, this is a cost share, right, for the bike trail?
This is cost shared, the 1.2 million is cost shared with the province under our multi-year capital works program, and the 600,000 overage would come from our gas tax funds. So it'll be nothing directly from our budget, other than our cost share with the multi-year capital works.
Okay, any further discussion? It's really ironic that the last council ended on bike trail, and this council will end on bike trail. So it's,
Fun to get her done.
it'll be done. And we
Just
will
better
say,
do it-
we
will
will
it get
say
done this
to,
summer? Will they be beginning work?
My latest contact with the contractor about a week or so ago was that it would be completed this fall.
so I'd really like, and I hope Mr. Dawes is listening, it did take a long, long
Oh,
time,
it took a long time.
but I hope that improves his quality of life somewhat, so. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed.
Did we lose the deputy?
Oh,
Aye.
sorry. Not
Okay.
bad, after 25, I've missed one, I'm sorry. Okay, now let's go, now that we have the
Now,
money,
now that we got the money.
let's go back to the other one. Let's spend the money.
The Municipal Services Committee recommends contracts be awarded to Gray Rock Services, Inc. in the amount of $331,087.88 for Part A, asphalt removal and civil work, and $1,370,800 for Part B, asphalt replacement.
Moved by Councillor Pomeroy and the Municipal Services Committee that we award the contracts for Part A and Part B for the asphalt work on the bike trail project in the amounts that were noted. Seconders?
I'll second it.
Councillor Winter's done the first two, so I'll give him that one. The discussion?
I just want to say that.
Councillor Pomeroy first.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just
Go ahead.
quickly, I mean, maybe Councillor Compton is probably going to say the same thing,
He's
but
trying to beat me to it.
But, you know, this project's been in the works for over a decade. And each time that previous councils had tried to move this project forward, we ran into basically not having any interest in completing the projects. We split the project at one point. Part of it got started with those gateways. But we've always had difficulty in securing contracts to complete the work. This time around, we received 3 submissions, and which, you know, when you look at it, we got major projects coming down the road in the next few years, next 10 years, going to be a major, you know, potentially boom in our community again from hydroelectric developments. And, you know, we need to improve our infrastructure. And if we don't do it now, the cost, you know, someone had indicated, Councillor Broomfield had indicated was more expensive than we had anticipated. I can guarantee you it's going to be a lot more expensive next year and in future years. So very happy to see this move forward, and hopefully we can just, you know, continue to expand on that in future years as well.
Councillor Compton?
Yeah, I just wanted to say similar. I'm happy to see it on the table and hopefully move forward. It's in line with our strategic plan and definitely with our new accessibility plan committee. Margaret's leading up that, our staff member Margaret's leading up that committee. Accessibility is so important in this community. Anybody who's using a wheelchair, walker, scooter, or, you know, the adult scooters are using, you go up on that bike trail, there's pieces of pavement missing, it's horrible. It's gonna be widened, it's gonna be very accessible, and it's gonna be a beautiful addition to our community, so I'm happy to see this here tonight.
Okay, great. Yes, Councillor Rumble.
I just wanted to add, I am hopeful that this is just the beginning of the improvements for this bike trail. I think we've had conversations about how once this new asphalt is down, hopefully the future will see better lighting, so that we can just, you know, once we got this foundation down, that we can continue to build on it, so that the accessibility side of it is just something that can be improved on. And I think we even looked at this through a tourism lens, where perhaps in the future, we'll be able to have QR codes at various points along that bicycle trail so that visitors to our community can utilize it, stop and, you know, find out some information about our community by utilizing, you know, landmarks along the trail.
Looking for a gorilla.
Looking,
The Jupiter gorilla.
looking, yeah, some of us are looking away.
And I mean, I think this is another perfect project where community could be involved. It doesn't have to be, you know, led or pushed by us. Yes, it has to be funded, but I think community can get involved, and, you know, this is a good first chunk, but there's lots of our town, you know, this is the first year in many years we haven't, you know, had people come and say that the sand on the path going down, you know, is there, right? So, yeah, I think that community should get involved, and, you know, I think that'd be positive.
And I expect all the councils to use it next year.
Okay. I was close this week, the rain keeps up, we're gonna have to.
I'll have to go for a walk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, along with this, and it was reiterated by that it took so long to do. The reason why it took so long to do, and like I think Councillor Palmer mentioned that other projects come first, and like we got to look at water, sewer. That's our priority. This is why this was bumped down, and I know sport and rec is always bumped down because they are the least important. But again, Councillor Cotton Hobbs mentioned accessibility, which is important. But another thing that's important too, that I think Councillor Broomfield mentioned earlier, is the people that don't pay their taxes. I think we were in the $2 million, $3 million range of people not paying their taxes. This is a project that could have been completely done by people paying their taxes several years ago, right? And then this is a continuous problem. So I think we've moved forward by when we started doing the water shut-off orders of getting people to pay their taxes on time, which is a huge part of what we can do and why we can't do things, why we can do things. So I just want to reiterate that, that's all.
Excellent. I can't remember, did we vote on that?
No.
No. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary
Aye.
minded. Okay, passed. All right, you have no more, right? Councillor Palmer, you're good?
That's it, Your Worship,
Okay.
thanks.
All right, let's move into community service and recreation. Floor is
Thank you,
yours,
Mayor.
sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Committee met as a community council of the whole on August 12th, 2025. Just a manager's reports overview. CSR Director Demers, Minor Soccer Camp, UK Camp was another successful camp with 100% participation capacity. No issues with the field for what they used it for. The Premier's Medal for Heritage, Sports, and Recreation nominations are coming up. CSR Director will be making submission on behalf of the town. The Labrador Winter Games Team HVGB has begun recruitment of team coordinator. Just a note, if anyone is interested, that is listening, please contact the CSR Director. The YMCA overview, YMCA and FAC and CAC committees. No meetings were held in August, so the next meeting will take place in September. Also expected is the update on the 5-year business plan. Number 5, age-friendly community action plan. The report has been completed and being reviewed by CSR Director. The Labrador Winter Games, there's no meetings held this summer, so the next meeting's in September. Summer Rec, the last day of Summer Rec was August 22nd and considered to be another successful summer. Facilities updates. Arena, Simcoe has completed its annual maintenance and ready for winter. Arena accessibility, no update engineer yet to provide cost to remove the row in question. That will reduce seating capacity by 22 seats, and that nothing can take place until the final plans are approved by ServiceNL anyway. Playgrounds, maintenance is all going, and assessment of work is being dealt with as required. Ball fields, all fields are operating, still issues with Husky Park surface. Curling Club, Simcoe has completed their work and the plant is ready for the winter season. Outdoor spaces, staff and students have been doing their best to keep up with 100+ tasks of servicing the 1.8 million square feet of area, such as grass cutting branches and weed control. Note, there was a tree cut down and other grooming that took place in front of Husky Park, but that was only due to damage during the high winds we recently had. Staff and training. Staffing changes are made based on required needs. There was some movement in August. All training is complete as per department requirements. Systems reports, there were 2 complaints through Access E11 and both were resolved. We still have 2 action items that's still on the table that hasn't resolved, and that's MMC soccer field, and that can't be touched until there's, again, going back to funding that's a big budget requirement. And the curling club, draft user agreement has been sent to the curling club for review. Important dates coming up, we have August 29th to September 1st, a national slow pitch qualifier. September 2nd, arena transition begins to winter operations. September 8th, ice plant starts up. September 20th, HVGB is tentatively scheduled. September 29th, ice season opens tentatively. And January 17th to 18th is the figure skating regionals, tentative. I have no new business and no recommendations. Please accept report as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Winters. Moved by Councillor Winters on the Community Services and Recreation Committee. We accept the report as presented. Seconded by? Councillor Council House. I'll give you that. I'll say that first. Any discussion? Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. I do want to bring something up here, 2 things actually, to kind of go along with the community service recreation. Park benches. We've had the conversation, was supposed to come up last night in a meeting. The meeting ran late and it didn't come up. The park benches that are in the Labrador Friendship Center, Cooper's Park down there, what are we doing?
I'd like to see them removed and replaced with picnic tables for the event this weekend.
Okay. Is that the agreement with everybody?
I would
I
rather
agree.
see the benches stay there and remove them after the event and then put them back there after each event that they require them.
You can't do the benches because it's concrete in the
yeah.
ground, right?
No, I know, but the
Yeah.
portable picnic
Oh,
tables
yeah,
or
that's what
whatever.
That's what I'm.
But the ones that are there, there's no reason they can't stay there now till Friday after the event, in my mind, and then
Yeah.
do the portable picnic tables for each event as they require them.
So we're gonna remove the benches that are in Cooper's Park and the picnic tables too, and if there's an event there, we'll bring the picnic tables back. Is that clear? Because no direction, outside of a text, there's been no direction given
Yeah,
to
but I
staff.
think we should clarify why, because there's been a lot of calls on
Yeah.
people hanging out in that area, a lot of needles on the ground there,
Yeah.
people passed out on the benches, so there's a clear reason of
Yeah.
why, right?
Yeah, no, I just wanna make sure, because
Yeah.
I didn't wanna, because last night we were supposed to bring it up and we didn't because the meeting ran late. So I just wanna make sure, because there has been representation made to myself, Councillor Winters, Councillor Pomeroy, and, you know, some stuff that people have saw, posted from, you know, what's going on in that park. So that's what I'm saying, and we give clear direction tonight. So is that what we wanna do?
Yep.
On,
Yes.
Yep.
For
after
the-
this event, so next week we'll say?
Well, I mean,
Friday.
I don't have an
Friday.
issue with them coming up now, and,
Just put,
because, I mean, if we're gonna bring them up on Saturday, then we're calling crews on
I
overtime
wouldn't
and
bring up on
everything
Saturday,
else.
but,
and-
I mean, the thing is that you don't wanna, like, to remove the bench right now today, you're gonna have a area where there's
It's
no
3
grass and that
days,
kinds of
so-
stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's
So-
3 days, so.
But that's all we need to do is, whatever we're gonna do, let's direct staff to make sure.
Yeah,
we
I
do
mean,
it.
I'm fine with removing them tomorrow and putting picnic tables there, because, I mean, if something happens over the next couple of days,
Yeah.
you know, hindsight is what it is.
Okay, so let's go,
Just one thing?
yep, what do you wanna do?
Yeah, no, I'd like them removed, plus, like, I think we should and could direct staff to remove the alders and willows that are there too. Just so that, like, from what I'm told, the issue is right inside, as it was over on this area in Churchill, is they have a place to hide, and that's why they're going there.
Don't know if that will fit in the work plan between
Yeah.
now and Saturday, but the benches kind of thing,
Yeah.
Just to be clear though, Mayor, just so, because people are listening, that area's been a problem for 10 years. 10 years, this is nothing new, but it has increased, the people in that, and the drug use and the needles and
There's a lot of
everything has
garbage down
increased.
there too.
Yeah,
so, okay,
But I
so,
agree as well, and I
Yeah.
think I agree with Councillor Winters in that we have a responsibility as a town to maintain our areas, just like a business or a resident would. So if there's alders or willows that are overgrown and it is encouraging or enabling unsafe behavior, we should definitely cut them in.
okay, so if I'm hearing right, and I hear from you guys then, we remove it, remove the benches tomorrow or
ASAP.
Friday or tomorrow
Well, I
next
think
day?
Friday
whenever-
is good,
Whenever
but
they can fit
whatever.
in.
Whenever they can get them.
Yeah, if they can get them removed tomorrow, fine, and we're gonna bring picnic tables down for that event and then have them removed. Is that, is that good for you guys?
That's good enough.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to her now.
Yeah, I just want to say that there's, whatever event is going on, 'cause I'm not sure what it is. But
Family fun
it's
day.
not a town event.
No,
And so, and nobody has requested any picnic tables or anything else from the town to be brought down.
Right, but what I'm saying is there's 2 or 3 there now,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There's a
there's
bench
a
or 2
picnic
benches
table
and a
and 2, 3
picnic table,
benches.
Yeah.
right?
It's
So we
not a
take
town
the
event, but the
benches out.
people that are holding the
Right.
event probably had the expectation that
Well, they
they
have
would
their own picnic
be
tables
there.
over behind
they
the
have
Friendship
reached
Center
out
too.
to
Okay.
CSR, as far as I know, for whatever, for Friday.
But
It's
as a
family
courtesy,
fun day.
removing the benches, we'll make sure that there's somewhere for
Yes, absolutely.
somebody
Yeah,
to
I'm
sit.
just,
So we're clear on, you're clear on the direction?
Yeah,
We're
so
good?
what I'm asking is that because this is 3 days away, and I'm not sure where it's gonna fit in the work plan, because heavy equipment's gonna have to go down and remove the benches, because they are
Yeah,
concreted
Concrete
in.
in, yeah.
And that's gonna create a mess, and if it's wet, it's gonna create ruts in the field, and that, would it be better to wait until Monday?
After the event.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if, like, I mean, I would rather see, you know, the grass there and then, yes, remove and put the picnic tables down or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't wanna see the field destroyed kind of deal.
Yeah, and
that
staff
event.
were down last week to clean up the garbage and stuff. There's some things, I'll call biohazardous materials that they cannot remove because they don't have the proper protection to
Yeah.
treat that kind of material. And the,
So can we move forward like we did
Yeah, we can't just
when we
leave
did
it
the other
there.
ones?
Can't leave it
Can we
there.
get somebody to remove them? A company?
yeah,
Like we did
have-
before?
Yeah, how does that work? So if we know and see that there's needles there, we can't just leave them. They have to be removed. So we will call in whoever is able to remove them.
Or do we cordon off that area or, right? So, anyway, I'm not gonna dictate, I mean, we're given direction from a staff perspective, do whatever you,
and I understand that it's gonna take staff time, so whenever it can be
Yeah.
done. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't, you know,
So
if
we
it can't be done tomorrow, it can't be done tomorrow, but
And crews are looking into this week to clear out the alders and to de-limb some of the trees so that it's more
clear
clear
through, yeah,
visually.
yeah.
and I mean, there is a
Thank you.
graveyard down there that, you know, we.
Must be in action, that's the
should be
main thing,
looking
right?
at
Something's gonna be
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
to deal with it.
And
Public safety is
I did have
priority
a
here.
conversation with the RCMP today, and they did tell me that they are not receiving calls for that area.
Yeah.
They've had one in the past month or so.
Yeah.
So if people are seeing stuff there that shouldn't be happening, please
Yeah.
contact
So,
the
yeah,
RCMP.
the other thing was is that, one of the residents, and I reached out to, Director Butler to see if we could get her to do
Do
a
extra patrols.
patrol sort of by through there, so I don't know if he's done that yet or not, so if we can just get that done. Okay, so we're clear on that, guys? Everybody's good with that?
Yep.
The next thing is that, and I'm gonna, take the blame on this one, because I thought this was already done. Jeanette Russell and her group, the, you know, Labrador Coalition for Search and Rescue, I went to Ottawa with them, 2 or 3 years ago and presented to the ministers, and that, huge push as a, you know, as a result of her loss, from a tragic, incident. She's taken upon herself and a group now to fight for search and rescue services in the Labrador region. So I would like our council to support a letter of support to them, to bring the awareness to, and basically it's the Face of the Fish Harvesters calling on the Minister of Fisheries and Oceans and the Canadian Coast Guard to deliver on a standard of search and rescue protection comparable to their counterparts in Newfoundland and the rest of Atlantic Canada by ending the so-called Labrador Black Zone, where services are, you know, have to come from away. So I would like us as a council, and you can write the letter, Kathy, and if council's in agreement, sign my name to it, and send it to Jeanette and her group as support, and also post it on our social media. And that's if council's in agreement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you say you
Absolutely.
had something from Jeanette Russell?
Yes, she sent a letter, but I thought we had
She
done this.
sent an email.
I thought we had actioned
I thought we
it
had
as well.
already done this 2-3 years ago.
No, and you know what, if I may, I've had numerous conversations with Jeanette the last year and a half, but I was wondering why this wasn't in the correspondence, because she had sent an email through to the mayor requesting our support. So thank you, Mayor, for bringing this forward, as it's definitely needed.
Can
Yeah.
you forward that to?
Yeah, I'll send it to Kathy, and you can, you know, wordsmith the letter, you're good at that, so. And, yeah, just send it off to her, and, I would also reach out to Jeanette and ask her where else she would suggest we send it, Minister's Office, MP, that kind of stuff. And that was it for me, and they both kind of fit under Community Services and Recreation, so. All right, approval of checks. Councillor Brumfield?
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. I just now having a quick look through it to make sure there's no questions on it.
I would like to bring forward that, because there was some mention here tonight about the cost at the
HR consultant.
HR, but I think the check here is $1,400 last month. I think $1,400 is, you know, a pittance in terms of what kind of service we're getting. You know, I don't think that's a huge cost. And it's, you know, we haven't been successful in, you know, recruiting or keeping an HR, so I think that's an excellent service for $1,400 a month. I'm not sure if that, you know.
No, but we're
is-
paying more
is
than that when we use the services or other things, right?
No, we're paying retainer, aren't we,
Yeah.
for that?
Sorry,
For Mark Gill's
for HR, no, it's not a retainer, this is for
services?
active work.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so anyone got any more questions on the checks?
Nope.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Finance Administration Apology Committee recommends council approve checks totaling $1,157,087.99 for the month of August.
Okay, it's moved that we accept the checks, the amount of $1,157,087.99 for August. Seconded by? Councilor Winters. Discussion? Okay, all those, none being heard, all those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? We've approved the checks. Deputy Mayor, you're on the phone tonight, so I'll go to you first.
Oh, for Council's Forum?
I'll break for tradition, yes, Councilor's Forum.
Oh my God, first time ever. I love it. Thank you very much. I was just going to say, I agree wholeheartedly with comments earlier, or in discussions earlier, Council Pomeroy and the Mayor regarding MEO removal of authority for moving violations. If I had faith, it would be an even swap of MEO authority transferring over to the RCMP and keeping up the standard that I know would be with the MEO, then it wouldn't be an issue. But we all know our RCMP in our region are really at their max currently. And again, our town is disadvantaged and safety compromised by the removal of that authority. It's disappointing. I immigrated 8 years ago with my family back to my hometown, Happy Valley-Goose Bay, and 4 years on council. And I don't feel we're getting the progress that is due to our town, safety, and the current situation in Happy Valley-Goose Bay. Our children still cannot access paths. Certain areas, residents are on edge. Avoiding certain areas or even avoiding entirely the activities that they would like to do or have done in the past. The town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay, we've written multiple emails. We've requested meetings and requests for discussions with our government and the officials. We have said this to their face in meetings. We have written emails, like I had mentioned, to no avail. And as such, we are yet to receive a reply. We want the department within our town, the development of our town, new business ventures, not to be hindered or deter residents or folks coming to our town or moving to the area, but the government must do better at representing our region and at the very least, a reply to our request. On a positive note, a huge congratulations to all athletes representing our region and even our town, Happy Valley-Goose Bay, at the Canada Games. We were very, very proud to watch you, and even some games I saw you compete in, so well done. Lastly, congrats to the All-Star soccer teams for another successful season or year competing on the island. Again, thanks to the community for all the fundraising and support for these guys, and over the last couple of weeks, they did very, very well representing our town on the island for the matches. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Brumfield.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. I'll keep it real short, this one. Okay, summer is almost done for us for another year after this week, and that's it. Back to school for all the young ones and work for normal work routine, I guess. We did have, I think we had summer-wise, weather-wise, one of the greatest. We had 3 weeks of what I call good summer weather, but we had no major forest fires, which is good for us, really, right? We also had our Canada Torch Week, right? Now, other than that, our events, and then we finished off for seniors last week, okay? So now, this is our final month for this council year coming up. Be interesting to see what happens after that. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, sir. Councillor Winters, we'll go to you.
Thanks, Mayor. Just to reiterate what Councillor Brooksville just said, like I said, we've been here for 4 years. It's been a pleasure to work with everybody here. We're almost done, basically. I think we were hindered earlier when we first started, but I think we have some major projects coming up, like the bike path, like D12 Pianton, like the Loring Drive. Again, I think it was a learning experience, most definitely, but again, a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. Thanks.
Councillor Compton-Hobbs.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to mention the Seniors Fun Day. It was a great event. Nice to see the seniors out enjoying the music and the food and the sun. I did notice that the trail in Kinsman Park, there was issues with, you know, the seniors coming from the long-term care home. Councilor Broomfield would know this with his own, what he dealt with. So, yeah, you know, I've been talking about that trail for years on the council, and I would really like to see that upgraded at some point. It needs to be paved. There's no point to have the path there coming from long-term if the wheelchairs can't get through the park to get down to the stage. But other than that, it was a great day. I mean, they did get some help with getting their wheelchairs pulled through to get them over to the stage and chair area. Just note, note that that needs to be paved at some point. Municipal elections coming up. Nomination September 11th. Election day October 2nd. So encourage anybody out there, young, old, middle-aged, put your name forward. Come on, come out and see what it's all about. You know, I've been many years myself on the council here now, maybe 11. So yeah, I encourage, you know, it'd be nice to get some fresh, young blood on this council and come in and see what actually happens behind the doors. Back to school next week, September the 2nd, school's opening. Our municipal enforcement will be out around the school areas. You know, drive slow, be safe out there. You know, the children are going on their bikes and their scooters. So yeah, just best of luck to the students next year, and drive safe to everyone else out there that's going back and forth to the school zones and around the community. That's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Palmer.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I guess going last is kind of disadvantages, but anyway, it was a great day.
Not last. I'm going to go to Councillor Palmer.
Okay. It's going to be harder on her. So the Seniors Fun Day was a great day. I think people really enjoyed themselves. The weather was great. People liked the cold plates. And a lot of seniors were quite happy to learn how to play cornhole. And nobody knew the rules, but they had a lot of fun. And also, yes, with kids going back to school, going to be a lot of people out on their bikes, scooters, kids walking. Be mindful. Please keep your speed down. We can't enforce moving violations, so hopefully the RCMP will step up, particularly in the early parts of the school year, because more and more kids will be out and about. The other issue, which I bring up almost every meeting, in terms of Muskrat Falls. So, and we've all heard the headlines, we heard the promises, and today Premier Hogan and Premier Legault met in St. John's to discuss a number of issues, and I'm sure including charting a future for hydro development on the Churchill River, and with federal investment likely coming for that. But the question is, where are we as a town in this conversation? We're nowhere near the table, and that's not acceptable. I don't think we should be spectators in a story that's unfolding in our backyard again. We went through that with Muskrat Falls, and we lived through the disruption of Muskrat Falls, the uncertainty, broken promises, and others reap rewards from that. And what were we left with? Just look around our community. We're seeing a lot of things happening in our community that didn't happen before Muskrat Falls. We've seen major issues, a lot of social impacts, and we can't let that happen again. You know, we're just another line item in somebody else's budget, you know, and that's not acceptable. And we need some guarantees. We need investment into infrastructure in our community and services that match the scale of the proposed projects that are coming downstream. And there needs to be full transparency and community oversight. You know, we weren't at the table with Muskrat Falls. We're not at the table now. And like I said, we're just a line item in somebody else's budget. You know, and we shouldn't be treated as, our community shouldn't be treated as a gateway to access Labrador resources. I drove up from the island there last week, and all I saw all the way along was the transmission line coming from Muskrat Falls. And I seen everything coming out, but nothing going in. And that's frustrating. And very frustrating that when a project of such scope and the issues that we're having in our community now, particularly social issues that we're having as a result of boom-bust cycles and major development, major projects like that, is not acceptable. And so I think we should be engaging with the province and Nalcor or Newfoundland Labrador Hydro and other stakeholders involved in this project, no matter who they are, and so that we ensure that we're not left out in the cold again. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I mean, it's just sometimes really frustrating to see what's happening, and we end up with nothing. That's it for me.
Okay, Councilor Romball.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not going to repeat anything, so I am going to say a thank you once again. I know we all thanked her earlier to Ms. Demers. Was it Demers?
Demers, yeah.
Demers. On behalf of the Canadian Red Cross for coming into our meeting and giving us a presentation. And I would encourage everybody to, I thought it was great that they had an easy website so we can all check out Red Cross Volunteer and see if there's a difference that we can make in our community, because I think we witnessed, they do some great things, but last year we witnessed firsthand when we had the evacuees from Churchill Falls and Lab City come into our community that they actually struggled to get a team on the ground because they had to travel in from somewhere else. So having qualified people or having interested people right here in our community, I think would make a huge difference. So thank you very much to her for coming in and presenting, and I hope her words are heeded by residents of our community who are looking for a way to give back. I would like to say thank you to our residents that we appreciate their patience during the construction that was recently undertaken at the Loring Drive intersection. So we know that it can be inconvenient, certainly for anybody who was traveling off the base. They had to adjust their routes. But the end result, as we can all see, things, you know, when things have to be changed, amended, fixed, you know, repaired, however, there is some disruption, but it's done for the greater good. So I think we'll all be very happy when that project is completed and people are able to cross in a safe manner, because that's a very dangerous intersection. So although it created a little bit temporary pain for long-term gain, I guess is the way we can word it. So thank you very much to our residents for their patience, and just advising them as well that, you know, there are construction happens when it can happen, as soon as it can happen. So we want to get things done, and we do our best. I think our town staff does their best to make sure that our constant contact through the Facebook page and the emails is out there to let our residents know when there's going to be disruptions. So I absolutely abhor anybody on their cell phone when they're in a meeting, and I just had my cell phone out. But it was for the greater good. So I wanted to say I don't ever want that camera to zoom in on me, but I will tell the residents that we have an app, yay, for our transit system. So our Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay public bus, our app is live. And there are detailed instructions on our town webpage. So leading into that, I'm going to tie that together to it's almost back to school time. And welcome, welcome, welcome to anybody who has chosen the Happy Valley Goose Bay campus of the College of the North Atlantic or the Memorial Extension as their new school. But we have people in our community who are going to rely. We know that it's been a little bit of a rough start with our public transit system with getting bugs worked out. Again, like anything else, we have these little hiccups along the way with the ultimate goal of having the best service possible. So we're at the point right now where our bus is now on an on-demand system. So on our webpage right here, I'm just going to refer as quickly as I can, that we now have a shared ride service with a 15-minute pickup window. You can watch the in-app estimated time of arrival so that you can be ready at the pickup point. We've got weekday booking windows from 7 a.m. to 11:29 a.m. So we're hoping that anybody who's trying to get to school, there's pickup times, there's drop-off times noted, Saturday booking windows. It rained cats and dogs at one point today. So I really hope that anybody who, would normally have been caught walking, either because of unavailability of taxis or because they don't have their own transportation, would have been able to avail of our bus system. And so I encourage everybody, even if you've got your own vehicle, download the app. It is the On-Demand Transit Rider app, and you just enter the code HVGB. Fares and passes are available on our webpage, $3 for a bus ride. Again, that's linked right off of our Facebook page. So you go to our Facebook page, it's one of our pinned posts, and it says our public transit page is now active. So I would encourage all of our residents to check that out. Anybody who's in need of a ride. You don't want to be stuck in the rain like it was today. And it's only going to get, I hate to say the words, it's going to get colder. Days are getting shorter. So I appreciate that we all have that ability. And that was the point I wanted to make today. Thank you.
And don't forget, there's still some work to do on the intersection up there, so.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. Okay, great. Just wanted a quick update on audit.
Okay, where are we with the audit? It will be ready to present to the auditor the first week of September, as she has requested. There are, I would say, 2 or 3 working papers left to do out of about a dozen or so. And there's one account that needs to be reconciled out of, I don't know, 10, 15 accounts or so that we reconcile. So
Excellent.
it's making good progress. It's a lot of work. I've been focused almost solely on that. So apologies, Dan, for not getting back to emails because I've been committed to a timeline and going to do my best to get there.
Great. Okay, no, I just wanted to. I had the pleasure a couple of evenings ago to attend the opening, a memorial wreath-laying ceremony and the opening of the 68th Royal Canadian Legion Provincial Command conference that they have, they're hosting here in Happy Valley-Goose Bay. It's the first time that the Provincial Command Conference has been here, and there was almost 100 people, I think 70-something people that have attended from outside. Some drove, some flew. I had the extreme pleasure to have a gentleman come up to me, and his name is on our wall here in the 1969 council, Councillor John Metcalf. He's the only surviving member of that council, and we shared some pretty good stories about some of the folks that were around. If I look at some of the councillors that were there, pretty, Herb Brett, Lloyd James, Arthur Hale, Harry Bakey, Clarence Brown, Lee Michelin, Bernie Broomfield, Dennis Conway, John Gillum, Paul Tabitis. So that's a pretty interesting and dynamic sort of group of folks. He's in great shape. Unfortunately, last night I invited him to our meeting just to come up and say hello at the beginning, but they had an event, and this evening I missed dinner with them that was supposed to happen at 6:30. So he was busy this evening and he goes home tomorrow. So it was nice to reach out to him, but more so it was great that the Legion Provincial Command is up. You know, the Legion's one of the strong community partners that we have. You know, sometimes we look at the churches and ministerial groups as strong community partners, but the Legion, you know, as I explained to some of the folks that were there, that, you know, from a community perspective, there's not a lot of big events that happen in our town that don't happen at the Legion. You know, in terms of whether it's you know, dance, a meal, wedding, or other events, huge community events. That so it's from that perspective, Bonnie and a group are doing good work down there. So I brought greetings on behalf of the town to them, laid a wreath on in memory of the veterans that have passed, and attended the opening ceremony. So that was good. Election date is the 2nd of October. The nomination date is the 11th and of September, yes, and the advance polls
25th.
is the 25th of September. So if you're either bit interested, I'm starting to hear some names. I don't know if other councillors are, so it's interesting, and I hope there's lots more that present themselves and offer choices to people. With that, that's it from me. Anything from you guys? CAO, Executive Assistant, Mr. Dillon? Mr. Dillon's going to say
Probably
something.
note one thing, Mayor, the bike trail
Yeah.
will actually have a 3-meter paved surface.
Yeah.
So it's considerably wider than what it is now, so
Yeah.
it accommodate bikers as well as, you know, walkers and people with disabilities and so on, so.
As long as
So-
it doesn't accommodate cars and trucks.
It does not accommodate car, and it does not accommodate ATVs.
Excellent, yeah, which is good. And that's huge, right? 10 feet now is what, 3 feet now or 4 feet
Yeah,
now?
not much more than 3 feet,
Yeah.
Mayor.
What's left of it, yeah.
What's left of it, yeah.
exactly.
From the 80s.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you know, it's, we looked at, talking about Kinsman Park, I mean, you know, it's, I guess, a little short now, but I mean, if we looked at it, we might have been able to extend that to do, you know, Kinsman Park or something too, right? Because not a lot of work, the bedding's done now, but it's just the,
No,
Yes.
and that's right, Mayor, that's something I can probably get an estimate on for, you know, if
Yeah.
council so desires at the next council meeting in a month's time, once we get further along with this particular contract.
yeah, as long as the cost of asphalt doesn't go up too much more.
Yes.
And the good thing is then asphalt freeze is really good for skating trail, right, too, so, or walking trail in the wintertime, so lots of good stuff. Margaret, anything from you? Thanks for your work on the bus. It's good to see that up and running, and, oh, you do have something, don't you?
Because you mentioned Margaret and the
Oh, there you
bus. CBC did an interview with Margaret today, and they plan on airing on Here and Now tomorrow evening, is the intent, they said.
Excellent.
So tune in tomorrow night and see what they do.
On the bus?
About the bus.
So I was approached from CBC a couple of times to different things, and because the on-demand is intricate, I passed on to CAO. She's busy with the audit, so we allowed Margaret to handle that, and it's great. One of the last things I'm going to do is we do have a little bit of traction on our Travis Spring Gorilla story. Of course, CBC did a little bit more of an article there, but you know, anytime we get a chance to hammer that home, and we're talking about tourism and stuff like that. I saw some pictures of kids and things like that with it. I don't know if we can get a silhouette and pop it on our website or something along that lines as well. But even sharing the story that CBC had, I think is just an excellent opportunity. And my understanding is that there may be some more activity in the works, but we'll see what happens.
It's good to see him chase Donald Trump up the stretch.
No comment. Okay, anyway, folks, thanks very much. Entertaining a motion to adjourn by Councillor Rumble, seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. All those in favour indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded,